everybody, so I'm going to do this quick because it does look like rain. We are very lucky here at Homegrown Love that we have two channels that have amazing gardens and two gentlemen that really know what they're doing, willing to help us out. So Home in the Sticks and CB Greenhouse and Gardens, we're going to do a collaboration. And we're going to kind of go back and forth with problem solving my brown thumb. So I love the straw bale beds on CB's channel, and I really want to do that. Watching him through the summer and get over 800 pounds of tomatoes is amazing. And if you look at his setup, it's not like he's got like acres and acres and acres and acres of gardens, which is what I would assume you would have needed for that many pounds of tomatoes. If you grow like I do, you would. So I wanted some suggestions from them, and they're really gonna like kind of help me out. And I think each step I take, I'm gonna ask for their advice, because I kill everything and I can never get my garden to produce, and we want to live off the land here, and I feel like we're doing really good with like livestock, like poultry, and that's fine. Like if that's all we get out of homesteading, it's, you know, it's awesome. Hey Cookie, our little kitty's coming to join us. But I want to can, I want to freeze, I want to preserve, we want to be able to eat off our property. So that being said, I am going to give them a layout again. I know they've seen my garden before because they've tried to help me in the past, but it was kind of too late because I already done my own thing and kind of killed everything. So kind of what we've done to kind of start with a clean slate. Alright, so that one along the house is going to stay because it does have my bee balm, my spearmint, and my lemon balm, and the chives I transplanted. So that's going to stay. We ripped out the raised beds. So if you remember from one of the videos that I've shown, we had one here, and then I kind of mounded along it, thinking that the plants would grow big enough that they would shade out the weeds, but that never happened, and then I just ended up with tall grass, and it was like horrible, and I wanted to cry. But the tomatoes seemed to do okay, so that was pretty good. They took forever, and everybody here in New England had the same problem. We had a very cold summer, so we still have a lot of green tomatoes on the vine, and that's what everybody has been complaining about. So I feel like this wasn't me. But I will say the green peppers were me, and I planted them, you know, right along with everybody else, and we got nothing. So, and I got absolutely nothing of anything else. So the only thing I need to keep the blueberries in that corner. I think I could potentially move them, but with them being in the corner, I can always drape like a netting over it, so that way the birds don't eat them. They are finally starting to come back after our gypsy moth evasion, so I'm hoping to finally get them to produce next summer. So, I need to know from you guys is, ideally, how wide and how deep do I need to make these straw bale raised beds? And do you think it's best to have a layout where I can walk up the center or down this side? Like, how do you think that would work the best? Or should I go from this way to that way? I guess, I mean, it doesn't really matter. I don't know if you found it to be easier to have shorter beds or longer beds, especially because I'm not going to have 100 of the same plant, and so is it easier then just to separate the beds by different types of plants? And then also we get a lot of sun. It's mostly full sun all day. And Cookie's scaring me because there's a snake that likes to live over here and sunbathe, but I think I took care of that problem by weed whacking. So that's kind of like, I want to get the setup taken care of maybe this fall. And so this is going to, you know, I'll post, after they post their videos back, I'll post what we've done and how we've incorporated their suggestions in to the garden. So ideally, I'm thinking we would like green peppers, tomatoes, zucchini, green beans, and cucumbers. I would not be opposed to some eggplant either. And those are pretty much the vegetables that we eat and that I know I'm not going to have to be like, hopefully not like super vigilant about. Obviously, we like cabbage and Brussels sprouts and stuff like that, but those little worms drive me crazy, and it's something I don't feel like I'm comfortable with taking care of that. It's more of a demand on me because I kill everything, and so I'm a little too nervous to plant those for this go around. Okay, and then the other question I have for home in the sticks, because you do your mushrooms, and I did want to start growing them. And I was wondering if you thought this area over here, which is really shaded, it gets a little bit of sunlight, but not a whole lot, and only when the sun's like on an angle about this time of day, so mid-morning, probably, so a few hours, if here would work. I can go a little bit deeper back there too. I mean, that's still part of our property. And then I could put a fence around it to keep the chickens out, because the chickens do like to scratch in there. Alright, so this is kind of that type of view. Also, if I get the hay, do I get it now and let it over, like, hold it over the winter? Does it need to be fresh hay? Does it need to be old hay? That kind of stuff. And then once we get it built, you guys be prepared to talk to me about soil, because that would be our next step. It's something we'd have to buy since we have mostly sand here. Alright guys, so everyone have a blessed day. Their channels are going to be linked in the description. Please go check them out. Their gardens are absolutely awesome and stunning, and they produce so much food. And it's a wonderful thing to watch. I really enjoyed watching them over the summer. I feel like I've learned a lot, but I also feel very discouraged with my own failings after watching. It seems to come so easily to them. Alright, so let me know what you guys think, and have a blessed day, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks, everybody.